Hi, welcome to Todd's Tips. I'm Todd Barsness, a full-time voiceover talent, and Todd's Tips is a feature of VO Marketing Pro. Now, if you'd like more information about VO Marketing Pro or anything else related to voiceover, just visit our Facebook page, website, or contact us via email. The links are located here. So, we've called this Todd's Tips, and under that, a subfolder, a subheading, now we've been doing for probably close to a year, Todd's Do's and Don'ts. And I'm starting to think maybe I'm going to rename that even and start calling it Todd's VO Tough Love.
Oh, we did a couple of those early on.
Yeah.
But we decided to kind of scrap it because we didn't want to. We had some wheels were rolling.
I just feel like, I just feel like our industry, and it doesn't have to be me. It can be anybody, but I just think this industry, and you've heard me go on record, this industry needs a big brother, it needs a dad figure, it needs somebody, again, it doesn't have to be me, but somebody that's going to be there and be gracious as they can, and yet say some things that need to be said, especially against the grain. There are some tough love speakers out there who really lay it down straight, but oftentimes it goes against how I've practiced my business. It doesn't seem like there's anybody out there, cheering on and speaking tough love to the industry from this perspective.
Maybe a little bit more realistic perspective. Maybe.
Well,
maybe
at least from my perspective, it is. And so we won't call it that for right now. We'll just keep calling it so we don't confuse people, do's and don'ts. And what we have been doing is every single time, we've been putting up on the board these caveats, to put a little asterisk by these things, to make sure that you know that I'm not being hypocritical, because I don't like it when people moralize business practices. I don't like it when they say, you're stupid, you're selfish, you're immoral, you're doing something wrong if you do this. If it's just a business practice, if it's just a choice that they're making, and it truly isn't anything illegal or immoral, but they call it that. And so I want you to make sure that you look at these and you understand that I might be different than you are. There might be some circumstances, some background, some skills, whatever, that I have that you maybe don't have or don't want to have. But what I just ask you to do is stop, put your hand to your chin, and just listen. I think so many of these things are applicable, and I wish that people would stop and just take a little time to think about these things. And here's another one. So I do get the picture that lots of VO talent are bored with their VO business. I get the picture, the feeling. It looks like it to me that lots of VO talent are bored with their VO business. Now, I think this is going to be a little controversial, but in my little corner of the VO world, I think it's true. I see this all the time. And again, over the last few years, as my business has grown and I've put in processes that don't make me have to be downstairs in my studio for so long, and I have people helping me, I watch a lot more, listen to a lot more, and read a lot more. Yeah. I observe what's going on. And here's what I see all of the time, and I mean it. VO talent complaining, whining, belly aching about their business not growing, or not growing fast enough, or flatlining, or not getting off the ground, or not meeting expectations or goals, or not paying the bills. Yet, I see them presenting at conferences and starting podcasts and being on other VO talents podcasts and coaches podcasts and making videos and being all over the place on social media, and quite a few of them actually doing VO coaching. I was just watching a man a few months ago who said his VO business isn't going that great. He's a VO coach and spokesman. And so then just a couple of weeks ago, he said he's kind of shifting his focus to be more of a coach. And it's like,
how convenient.
Are we not seeing this? All the while, these folks continue to talk about how things aren't going exactly the way they want things to go. I think they're bored. That's what I think. I think they're bored and searching for a distraction that will amuse them. Business is not glamorous for the vast majority of us. There are some people that it is glamorous, it really is. they're big time stars, and they do trailers, and they do stuff for the NFL and NHL, and they're big. They fly all over the place in studios, and people get them in limos and stuff like that. That's very, very unusual. Very unusual. What I'm going to do here, just aside, I'm going to take a video of my studio sometime. Just walk down the stairs, show people around a little bit. Take a look at my studio where I spend the vast majority of my time. It's not very glamorous. It's a box that gets hot, and I just do the work. So it's not very glamorous. Business is not easy. Business is not that much fun, and not too exciting most days. And we are in the VO business. Business takes a ton of initiative. It takes a ton of ingenuity. It takes a ton of common sense, intelligence, and it takes an all-in hook, line, and sinker into it to be successful year after year. Now, just so you know, and you can believe it or not, Hudson can verify, my VO business is not my highest priority in my life. It's just not. It's not even close. But when I went into business, I determined not to get bored or distracted because I was in business. You do what you want. Conference away, podcast away, video away, drown yourself in social media, but don't be surprised if that doesn't affect your voiceover acting career and success. As I said, I wonder sometimes if VO everything else, I made a list of them earlier, VO everything else is just a lot more easy and a lot more fun. And you get more kudos than you do as a VO talent, just a regular, everyday, run-of-the-mill VO talent like you and I are. And it's rare that people can be so successful in their voiceover business that they can then juggle all the other things that I talked about. At least at first, for most of us, the vast majority of us, I think you have to have the mindset of, I will not get distracted or bored with this, at least until you've pushed that boulder over the hill and you're starting to make progress. And you will if you don't get bored or distracted. You will, trust me. You're doing that more and more. Mm-hmm. There are other people we know that are doing that more and more. And there are a lot of other people we know that we communicate with and talk with and watch and such that aren't doing that. But I think it's because they're all in something else, or they're part in with their VO business. I've said enough, no doubt. But I do get the picture that lots of VO talent are bored with their VO business. And I just want you not to get bored or distracted. So many distractions out there, so many. Now, there are some priorities that you just need to keep priorities. I get that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about distractions and amusements and all sorts of flashing lights and new things that will get you off track and that'll hurt your voiceover business.
Thanks a lot for joining me for Todd's Tips. And if you'd like more information about VO Marketing Pro or anything else related to VO, the links are listed here.